Hello everyone, welcome back to the shop. I'm Jim. Kind of an update or follow-up here. Getting along pretty good with the instrument panel. I've still got, of course, a bunch of stuff to do, but I thought I'd share some of the ways that I did this. I don't do videos where I'm actually doing the construction, so it's always just kind of a this is where I'm at update video showing you what's already been done. This is the hole for the G5. It's a round hole, and then on the back side they give you, as part of the install kit, that little nut plate or nut ring they call them, I think. And it's got a pin. That's the top of it. Since I'm holding it upside down, there's a pin on the G5 that goes through that little hole there in the center, and then there's a I think that's a number 6 screw there that's part of the bolt that's in the G5 that actually holds it from coming out. There are 3 number 6 number 8 screws. I think those are number 8s that hold that to that holds the nut ring to the panel here. And it comes with 3. I think they're stainless. I'm not sure why you wouldn't need stainless in this application, so I just put these in. This is gonna have to come out when I paint anyway. So that holds that nut ring in the hole, and then the unit is square, and it's got 3 little divots on the back side of the plastic bezel. The G5, of course, is square, and then the divots clear the head of these screws. You don't have to countersink those screws. I cut that hole with one of these hole punches, and I used this on my RV6 to do all the holes. I had a 6-pack and steam gauges on that airplane when I built it, so I used that quite a bit and used it again for cutting that hole. It's pretty straightforward, just like you'd think, and it pops out these circle pieces, and it's got a big bolt in there and a nut, and then that's not actually the socket that I used, because I used this Ryobi impact wrench that I got here not too long ago. Actually, I had an air impact, but the thing was so old it quit working. So I got that worked good. When you're punching those holes, you'll hear it pop once where it cuts on one side or the other first, and then you'll keep going, and it'll pop again, and then it turns free, and then you take it all apart, pop a plate out of it. I used that same hole punch to get these 2 big holes started for the panels. So I found the circumference, or the tangents, basically left myself a little bit of space and drilled 4 holes, and then I popped 4 holes in there so that I could get started on the mill. I clipped out the waste initially. Here's a piece of it right here. So I clipped that out with snips. I think I've got a pneumatic pair, and then I also used my old reliable Weiss, I think it is, snips. This stuff is 62 thousandths, so it's really thick. It's hard to work with no matter what you're using, other than the mill. The mill works pretty good. The biggest problem I have is I've got a small grizzly mill. I'll show you what it is over here. That's it right there. Where's the number on it? In case you guys are just wanting to buy tools. I really like this thing, and I wish I'd have bought it years ago. It's really common, and I forget what they call it. G0. Well, heck, the numbers on the stand over here that I don't use with the mill. It's a 0759 is the mill. Anyway, so the worst part of it, doing this on the mill, is the setups, because the mill is not big enough to do one setup and then mill out the entire shape. So I had to do kind of in thirds. I had to do about half of this, skip a clamp, and then do the other side, and I could come down here just a little ways, and then I'd have to change this thing clear around and clamp it again and square it up. That's the hardest part. These aren't so bad because the panel bezel covers up the hole, so you could screw that up a little bit and not be perfectly square, and you'll still be able to true up your bezel on the G3X. I don't have these holes drilled yet, and I may not drill those. I don't think I even drilled them on my 6, because all you need is this clearance hole in the corner. It's these things that are going to go on there. They'll go on the back, of course, but you can see here that's what I did to get everything lined up, and then I just traced around the inside of that, and that's the hole you need to cut in your panel. But then I'll have to drill the 4 holes in the corners, and I'll get myself a little bit of clearance so that the screw will have plenty of clearance in there. Initially I'll clamp this down real nice, and then I'll spot drill them, and if I'm lucky and they come out exactly where I want, then I'll just leave them with a regular clearance, which is just slightly larger than the number 6 screw that holds that. If that doesn't happen that way, then you just drill the hole a little bit bigger, just go up a couple sizes, and then that gives you the slop that you need to shift it around to get everything to line up nice. What I'm going to really be looking for is that it's nice and parallel along the bottom edge. This hole was a lot more critical, and you can see here that I'm not sure why they did it, but there's little protrusions on the side of that 650 XI that you have to clear. And if I made the whole thing that wide, it'd be a pretty good risk that you'd see daylight along the edge of the device. So I've got the autopilot that goes in here, then the 650, and then the audio panel. So I did this real carefully on the mill, making sure that I wasn't any larger than I needed to be to fit the tray in there, and then slide the units into the hole. Same thing over here as the first one on the other side. Not sure yet where I'm going to put my starter. I'm going to use a standard mag switch with the key and all that. I don't know that I'll have room here. I probably do, but it might not look good that close to the G5. So if I don't put it there, then I also thought about putting it up here. I'm not sure I really like it up there either, unless I just use a single key with nothing else on it, and we'll just set to the side. I can kind of figure out if I like it there or not. Oh, then the 3 holes here, this is another little fixture that you'll need if you're popping your own holes for instruments. It's designed to work on either size 3 1/8, or is it 2 1/2 or 2 1/4? That's the 2 common instrument hole sizes. And then the 4 holes you see there are the screw holes for to hold that instrument in there. I think that's about it for now, and that's where I'm at. See you next time.